Hi, I'm Leanne and welcome to my kitchen. Today we are making a viewer requested recipe. We are making small batch, no bake cookies. Now this is a classic recipe that has been around forever and it is so easy and quick to make. It is the perfect thing to make on that hot summer day when you're craving a little bit of sweet, a cookie, but you don't want to turn on your oven. We're gonna make this cookie on the stovetop just for a couple minutes, or you can use a hot plate. And the other great thing about this recipe is you probably already have all the ingredients you need. All you're gonna need is 2 tablespoons of butter, and I am using salted butter, a half of a cup of granulated sugar. If you don't have granulated, you could use brown sugar. We've got 2 tablespoons of milk, whatever kind of milk you have on hand. Today I'm using 2%. We got 2 tablespoons of peanut butter. Creamy or crunchy, although I do prefer creamy peanut butter for this recipe. We've got cocoa powder. We want unsweetened cocoa powder. You can also use a Dutch processed cocoa powder. And then oatmeal. We are using the quick cooking oats. If all you have is old-fashioned oats, those will work. It will just give you a chewier cookie. Or you can just stick your oats into a blender or food processor, pulse them a few times, and you'll have quick cooking oats. And then last but not least, vanilla extract. All right, like I said, these cookies are so easy to make, but I do have a couple tips for you that are gonna hopefully make them even easier for you. Number 1, have all your ingredients out before you start. Don't be searching for your vanilla or your peanut butter in the pantry while you've got the mixture going on the stovetop. You're gonna be adding things in quickly, and timing is important in this recipe, so have everything ready to go. Prep your cookie sheet. You're gonna use just a cookie sheet, cover it with some parchment paper, have it ready to go too, so that when the cookies are done, we can spoon them right onto there. Now you are gonna need a smaller saucepan for this recipe, and I'm just using this cute little copper one. So the first step into our pan, we are going to add our half of a cup of sugar, our 2 tablespoons of butter, and again, I'm using salted butter, and then we're gonna add in 1 tablespoon of our unsweetened cocoa powder, and 2 tablespoons of milk. Now we're gonna take this over to our stovetop. We're gonna put it over a medium heat, and we're gonna stir it until that butter melts and everything incorporates. And then we're gonna keep kind of stirring it till it comes to a rolling boil. Now a rolling boil is when there are bubbles all over the whole surface of the mixture, not just around the edges. But here's the trick. As soon as it comes to a rolling boil, you wanna take your phone, set a timer for 1 minute, all right? You don't wanna overcook this mixture. Now, what happens if you overcook it? Your cookie's gonna be a little dry and crumbly. It's still gonna taste good, but the texture is going to be different. And if you undercook it, the cookies aren't gonna set up. Now, if this were to happen, just go ahead, stick the cookies in the refrigerator, and that will help them to set up. So even if you over or under boil it, these cookies are still gonna be yummy, but to get the right texture and the right setup of the cookie, you wanna boil for 1 minute, no more, no less. All right, we're taking it off the stove, and now we're gonna add in those 2 tablespoons of peanut butter and a half a teaspoon of vanilla, and our 3/4 cup of old-fashioned oats. And then we just wanna stir this just until all the oats are coated. You don't wanna over stir it. All right, and then now we're gonna grab that prepared cookie sheet, and I'm gonna use a cookie scoop. This is like a 2 tablespoon. You can use really any size you want depending on how big you want these cookies to be. But with this cookie scoop, I think I'll get about 6 to 8 cookies out of here. Let's see, 1, and we're just gonna scoop it right out on to the sheet, and it will start to flatten out a bit, which is okay. If it flattens out too much, again, go ahead, stick it in the refrigerator, and that will firm them up. Okay, we're gonna get 6 cookies out of here. Just the perfect amount. I mean, sometimes, you know, you just don't need 30 cookies, which is what a full-size batch will make. Just gonna scrape out a little bit here to add to our last cookie. Now, if they're not flattening out enough, you can just take your hand and gently they're gonna cool faster if they're a little flatter. And I just like to flatten mine out just a little bit. Then we're gonna let them sit, let them cool. If you wanna, speed up the process, stick them in the refrigerator. So let's let them cool for a minute, and I'll come back and show you what they look like. So our cookies have cooled. show you what they look like. Now this cookie is probably a little bit more fudge-like than cookie-like because there's no flour in this cookie, but look at it. So good. They are just the perfect solution to that sweet craving, but you don't want to bake. They're soft, slightly chewy thanks to that oatmeal. Guaranteed to satisfy that craving. So thanks for joining me in the kitchen today. If you want some more small batch cookie recipes, be sure to check out over here, over there, one of those places. And we'll see you in the next video.